music review from 2001, and I want to talk about the album Amnesiac uh, by Radiohead. Um, Now, the previous album, Kid A, I must admit I am a fan of, and it really launched Radiohead's career in the direction that could best be described as experimentation. And one critic, and I'm going to quote here, uh, describes Amnesiac as a bit like a hodgepodge with amazing moments, and refers to the hypnotic sway of Pyramid Song and You and Whose Army, the swirling sounds of I Might Be Wrong and Knives Out, and the spectacular closing track, Life in a Glass House, complete with a drunkenly swooning brass band. Okay, well, I think that's a very apt description. Um, I just want to now add my bits to it, and I have to say that I find it quite hard work. I listened to it again yesterday, and there are amazing moments. There are magical moments in listening to the synths, the electronic maneuvering of Adamson, the vocal delivery of Tom York, are all quite enchanting. But this album needs repeated listening, I think, to get the most out of it. It was described by many people as a series of outtakes of tracks that couldn't make the Kid A album. That may well be so, and certainly some of the offerings here are sort of filler-like material, experimentation material. Let's describe it in that way. But anyway, I'm going to go through, as I usually do, with a track-by-track look at this album. And so things got started with a packet like sardines in a crushed tin box. It's like a ticking bomb. As a package, very scary, and a plethora of odd sound bites and loops. It challenges the listener really to be patient, and so it's a sort of strange beginning. Track 2 is more like it, Pyramid Song. There's a haunting piano intro before York's hypnotic vocals take you over. Very spooky, with synth noises hinting at of orchestral sounds and sublime noises. There's a superb string arrangement in this song, and I do like it. Track 3, Polk Pull Revolving Doors. Well, chaos invades at the start with an array of twitchy sounds and an odd narrative voice that's in there. This is 21st century generated music, all right. Very much an acquired taste, with the drum machine evident and those electronic sounds everywhere. Track 4 is You and Whose Army. This is quite a somber track, very depressing, and I didn't find it particularly memorable. Although it is regarded by many as magical. Up to the next track, I Might Be Wrong. They include this often in their live set. It's much more up-tempo, and the riff is like a throbbing pulse that promotes an occasional foot tap, and then the shuffle beat lays an expectation of, and then it slows down into a nightmare outro. Appealing, but I felt lost its way. To track 6, Knives Out, probably one of the best tracks on here, and it's talk about a dreamy sort of life, spirals and gyrates a little bit like a spider's web of notation. and that rolling Adamson guitar, eerie and melancholic throughout. It's a perfect mood optimizer and certainly likable. Amnesiac Morning Bell is track 7. It's a strong, emotionally moving piece of music. It has a classical, spacey, slow rock feel that chimes with a dreamlike sequence. Track 8 is Dollars and Cents. More orchestral rhythms here, and a nice bass line with effective wailing from Tom. It's more accessible and on early listenings than other material here. Up next is Hunting Bears. It opens with a distinctive riff and solo that creates an expectation of more lead to come as the melody develops. But it doesn't really move on to what you expect it to do. It's a complete instrumental as well. Like Spinning Plates, track 9 starts with distorted keyboard noises that seem to set up this image of spinning plates going around and around and around. It's got a spacey feel that links into York's vocals, which is strained and full of confusing motion. Finally, then, we get to Life is a Glass House, and I have to confess that this track is awesome. It comes with that sophisticated New Orleans jazz, which reminds you you're out at a funeral, but the conglomeration of sounds from the horns are truly inspired. With York's vocal accompaniment, it's really fantastic. The montage of horns are remarkable, and I noted from the Wikipedia review of the album that these were provided in large part by the Humphrey Lyttelton Band. So, what do we have then? Well, we have an intriguing set of songs, some of which could possibly have gone on Kid A, but I don't think it's one of their strongest, and maybe it was a set of outtakes. Interesting album, gets better with more listening. That's Amnesiac by Radiohead, released in 2001.